You're going to be right at the beginning. Chaplain more or less. Chaplain. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, I should say. Feels like a tailgate here today, like a tailgate Saturday. Monumental day for West Virginia University. Monumental day for the state of West Virginia. And a special day for the children of West Virginia and Western Maryland and Southwest Pennsylvania and Southeast Ohio that will treat in this beautiful facility. We're going to start with a blessing from our chaplain, Maura Riley.
I invite you to join me in a moment of prayer as we give thanks for this amazing new children's hospital to serve the children of our beautiful state and region. Loving God, thank you for bringing us to this moment. Thank you for all those who have given their time, talent, and treasure to make this vision a reality. We ask your blessings on each patient who will enter through these doors. May they feel loved and well cared for. May their time here be restorative, healing, and renewing. We lift up their loved ones. Send them your strength for long days and long nights. May your peace fill their hearts. We ask your blessings on all the staff who will care for children and their families within these walls. May they be filled with wisdom, love, and compassion. May they be refreshed in their callings to service and strengthened for challenging days. May they bring hope, healing, and comfort. We give thanks that we may witness this dawning of a new era at WVU Medicine Children's. May this be a place of transformation. Amen.
Thank you, Maura. For those of you I have not met, my name is Albert Wright, and I have the privilege of being the CEO of the WVU Health System, and I'm your Master of Ceremonies today. I apologize in advance. We got a lot of folks here. I know we have a lot of donors, dignitaries, friends of the hospital. We're not going to be able to recognize everyone today, but we're thrilled that you're here. So I started at WVU Medicine in August of 2014. Started on a Monday, and that Saturday evening, we had a children's hospital fundraiser event in Wheeling, West Virginia. And you know, since I was brand new and I wanted to be prepared, on that Friday of my first week in August of 2014, I went up and toured the 6th floor of Ruby Memorial Hospital, where our children's hospital has lived since this building opened in 1988. And Cheryl Jones, who was our longtime chief nursing officer, took me through. I spent the entire afternoon, and we went slowly around, and I talked to just about every nurse and physician that was on the floor that day, right? And I went and I met kids and their families that were being treated for cancer. I met kids and their families who had just had open heart surgery. I met kids that had just had a significant trauma and had complex spinal surgery. And then I went in the neonatal intensive care unit, where there were children that were essentially the size of my fist, you know, and nurses and volunteers that just snuggled and rocked the kids, you know, back and forth, and just in the passion and the amazing things we do for the children of West Virginia was just amazing to me. So I started to build that hospital, this hospital, in my mind's eye the very first week I was here in August 2014. So it's exceptionally gratifying personally for me to be here on this day and see this come to fruition. And it's very consistent with what we've really been doing on campus over the last, decade, right? A decade ago, you walk out of that football stadium, Ruby Memorial looked like kind of big general hospital. It now is increasingly a collection of subspecialized institutes, right, around the John Michael Moore Trauma Center, the Cancer Institute, the Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute, Heart and Vascular, and now this freestanding, standalone children's hospital. So when we officially decided, I think in 2017, to announce that we were going to do this, I started playing kind of a game of love it or list it with our staff on my must-haves. Does anybody know what Love It or List It is, the TV show? Put your hands up if you watch it. You guys too? Okay. For those of you that don't know, Love It or List It is a television show on HGTV, right? And in this show, you've usually got a married couple, and they're trying to decide if they're going to love their house and fix it up, or if they're going to list their house and try to move somewhere else, right? And one of the couple always wants to fix their house up, love it, and stay here. And if we just add some stuff to it, we can stay here. The other says, we've got to build a new house, or we've got to go buy another house. So they bring in a realtor, and they bring in a construction expert, Hillary and David. Everybody knows Hillary and David? I watch it. I watch it. So Hillary and David come in, and they sit down with these couple. Hillary is a construction expert and says, I can fix your house up. David says, you got to get out of this house. We got to move and build something new or buy something new. And they always start out with their must-haves, right? If I'm going to stay in this house, the one pair of the couple says, I need, you know, a first floor master bedroom, or I need a bigger garage, or we need, you know, we need a swimming pool. And the person that wants to list it and move always says, you know, I want to move closer to work, or I want to be in the country or I don't see anyone, or I want to, you know, we need 5 bedrooms, not 3. So they start with their must-haves. So that's what I did when we were building this children's hospital. And as a parent who had a child that spent the first few days of his life in a neonatal intensive care unit, where I slept in the waiting room for 3 or 4 days, and as a parent who's had a child that had a brain tumor and associated seizure disorder that went through a major surgery, you better believe I had some must-haves and some strong thoughts about what we needed to do when we built this children's hospital. So I had 3 must-haves. First, if we're going to build this, we're going to build a spectacular building that we can all be proud of today and 50 years from now. Second, we're going to build a comprehensive building. So even though we're on the campus of J.W. Ruby Memorial, and we've got 2 kind of gerbil tubes that connect this building to the main hospital on the 4th floor and the 10th floor, kids are not going to be going over there for the emergency department, for imaging, for surgery. There's essentially no reason a child needs to leave this building to go into that main hospital. This is a freestanding, standalone 150-bed hospital. So it had to be spectacular, it had to be comprehensive, and my third and final must-have was that we need to do everything possible to create positive distractions for children in their time of need and maximal comfort for their families and their parents and their siblings, right? Because this is an 800-bed complex, 150-bed children's hospital in a town with 30 or 35,000 people. Most of our kids come from around the state, from Martinsburg, from Beckley, from Wheeling, right? And these families have had a curveball thrown to them. And if we can make them comfortable and allow them to stay in the room with their children, that makes their life easier. So as usual, I got all of my I think when you see this building, you will realize I got all 3 of my must-haves, and it's spectacular. So we look forward to taking you through it today, and thank you for being here. I am now going to introduce our 2-time president of West Virginia University and the chairman of the board of directors of WVU Medicine, a staunch supporter of the healthcare system and touches everything we do, not only here in Morgantown, but around the state. And when we announced this project in 2017, Dr. Gee said this is not only a nicety, but this is a necessity. So welcome to the podium, please, Dr. E. Gordon Gee.
Albert, we pay you a hell of a lot of money to watch HGTV. I want you to know that. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I can't believe that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if our football coach is here, but after the first 2 games, we were thinking about turning the football stadium into an annex of the Children's Hospital. So. Anyway, Governor, it's great to see you. It's great to have all of you here. This is a glorious day in the life of West Virginia, right? Isn't it? And it's a glorious day in the life of our university, but the most glorious day is in the life of our children. And that's what we're celebrating today. I can remember when Albert and Clay and I came here almost at the same time. We designated the governor that we were going to have three pillars that we were going to work on as a university. We were going to work on education. We think that is absolutely critical. The second thing, of course, is healthcare, the tent pole, and then prosperity, creating jobs. Well, today, with this glorious facility behind me and the one that we're celebrating, we're fulfilling that promise. we now can say to anyone in this state that no child ever needs to leave this state to get great health care. And that's what we're about. So the significance of this day is well attested to by the presence of so many of our state leaders, and I'd like to thank Senator Shelley Moore Capito and Senator Joe Manchin, Congressman David McKinley, and of course my friend Governor Jim Justice joining us. Give them a round of applause, would you please? And I want to thank the two co-chairs of our campaign. Steve Andeline is sitting over here, and where is Jeff Hostetler? He may be, Jeff, it's good to see you. I will say something about Jeff. I was a brand new president of West Virginia University, went to Oklahoma. We had this supposed good quarterback by the name of Jeff Hostetler. I said, I can't even say his name. But guess what? We won that game, and he went on to history, and we're so proud of you, Jeff. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then I also want to recognize that you may have your Secret Service, but I have my own Secret Service right here. Here is the stand-up mountaineer. She's a little outdated gun, dear. But anyway, it's great. And then of course the opportunity to recognize all of the faculty and staff, the people who have made this place work. No one has done more work than our dear friend Amy Bush. Amy, please stand and be recognized, would you please? Never get on the wrong side of Amy. I have a couple of ankle bites to show that. I want you to know that, as a matter of fact. So anyway, so we're here to celebrate today. WVU Medicine Children's admits about 17,000 patients a year. And the demand, as Albert will tell you, just keeps growing. And so I'm so thankful for the vision of our leadership. I will say something about my good friend Albert. This was his vision. This is his legacy. He wanted this as much as anything. You know, Dr. Edelson, you know, with his son having been under your care, we have brought people in here. Dr. Edelson is the newest member of our team. But just to think about what has happened over this period of time. He loves this place. We love him. We're grateful to have you here, Albert. I just want you to know that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a day of celebration. Thank you very much for being here. But most importantly, thanks for the kids, by the way. And speaking of kids, we have students who every year dance for 24 hours a day. It's called Mountaineer-thon. And where are those? Where are those students? Right there you are, right back there. They raise money every year for Children's Hospital. And I'm grateful for that. Everyone, let's have a great day. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Key. Michael Grace is the president of WVU Hospitals and took over the day-to-day operations of the complex we're on here in January of this year. Michael is a longtime friend and colleague of mine and a true servant leader, and I'd like to welcome him to the podium to say a few words today.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining us on what is truly a remarkable day. The current marketing campaign for our new children's hospital is termed Hope's New Home. This morning, I would like to speak for just a few minutes on the concept of home. Webster's dictionary defines home as a familiar setting or congenial environment. As mountaineers, we know, as John Denver sang, home is a place where one belongs. In a physical location sense, home is a place where you reside, oftentimes with family members and loved ones who care about you. From a medical perspective, one's healthcare home is a place where one seeks care from physicians, nurses, and other providers at times of illness, injury, and other physical or mental challenges. One's healthcare home includes the caregivers one comes to rely on for expertise in solving medical problems, relieving pain, and providing a cure. It is the place and the people with whom one feels comfortable because they know their concerns are being heard and addressed. A healthcare home is a place that provides hope for recovery and a brighter tomorrow. Hope's new home for the children of West Virginia and the surrounding communities we serve is directly behind me. The new W Medicine Children's Hospital. Our new children's hospital will relieve families of the burden of having to travel outside the state of West Virginia to find the pediatric care they need. They will find this care right here in Morgantown. While we would prefer all children be healthy and never need the services we are able to provide, we are honored each time a family entrusts us with the care of their child. We hope you never need us, but always know we are here for you if you do. There's a popular saying in the West Virginia University community that once you are a mountaineer, you are always a mountaineer. The same is true within W Medicine. You are always part of our family, and we stand ready to assist you whenever needed, in whatever way we can. To everyone here today, and to the children of West Virginia and the surrounding communities that we serve who may need care, welcome home.
Thank you, Michael. As Gordon shared earlier, when we decided to do this project a few years back, Gordon and I got together and we needed to pick a leader for this project, not only the fundraising component, but the building component, and to put it all together. And Amy Bush is a young lady that I've worked with for the last 15 years. And Amy is one of the most effective leaders I've ever met. I often joke that if my office is on the front side of Ruby Memorial Hospital, I often joke that if on a Friday afternoon I told Amy that when I get back on Monday, I need to have the football stadium on the other side of the hospital, it would be done. It would be done. So when it came time to pick a leader for this project, there was only one person, and she's done a fabulous job getting this across the finish line. Please welcome Amy Bush.
Well, here we are, the day we've all hoped for, the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new children's hospital. President Gee talks about having his security here. I have a whole army here of kids from the original groundbreaking, a little over 4 years ago. Would you stand? So this is really more than a grand opening. This is a rededication to our community and our whole state. Our new WVU Medicine Children's Hospital is the culmination of so many people's aspirations, perseverance, and hard work. From the countless doctors, nurses, members of our care team, family advisory committee, our architect IKM, who helped design the hospital, to the entire construction team, our internal planning, design, and construction, Kenny, Scott, Jim, Dave, for your never-ending support, to Yates, Macero, Mercedes, and every single subcontractor, trade, technician, industry partner, and our colleagues from Dahlem who put it together so magnificently. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. To those who have supported us on this journey, I cannot thank you enough. President Gee, Albert, Michael, Clay, our board of directors, elected officials, and my senior colleagues. To my dear mentor, the late Dr. Bill Neal, for your clear vision and your leadership. You paved the path forward, and today we fulfill your dream of having a new hospital completely dedicated to caring for the kids. To our campaign chairs, Jeff and Steve, and my dear friends, our guiding force. To our campaign advisory committee and the thousands of donors who believed in our vision, thank you. Thank you for breathing life into our dream. Thank you for helping us surpass our $60 million Grow Hope, Grow Healing campaign goal. If everybody will give everyone a round of applause. To my entire Children's Hospital team, I couldn't imagine a better team to do this project. To the leadership, to the faculty, to the advanced practice providers, the staff, the foundation team, your resiliency never ceases to amaze me, and I am grateful to each one of you. Rachel and Mary, if you'll please stand. Thank you for leading the way alongside of me. To my dear family from Ohio and to my Morgantown family, thank you for being my rock. We take our mission to build healthier futures for our children and expecting mothers seriously, and we're grateful to those who entrust us with their care. While we hope you never need us, parents and families, you can rest assured your little ones will be receiving the very best care. I close with a quote from Dr. Bill Neal. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and you are a giant for children. Thank you for being part of this legacy. To say, as the American country music group Lady A wrote, I was here. I want to do something that matters. I want to try to touch a few hearts in this life. Well, we, West Virginia and surrounding region, we are doing something that matters, and we're touching hearts. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being the support behind WVU Medicine Children's. Thanks.
Thank you, Amy. Dr. Clay Marsh is the Chancellor and Executive Dean for Health Sciences here at West Virginia University, and Clay has been my spectacular partner in leading WVU Medicine for the last 8 years. I think he and I have probably had over 1,000 dinners together recruiting physicians at Sargasso's and Stefano's and Bourbon Prime, and he is one of the most inspirational physician thought leaders I've ever worked with. He's a great partner, and I'd like to welcome Clay to the podium.
Well, Gordon, I'm never watching HGTV again. Just kidding, I love it too. George Bernard Shaw said, some people dream of what is, and some people see what is and say why. Others dream of what was never there and say, why not? We just finished our week of purpose at West Virginia University. And when we start to think about our why, we know at WVU Medicine, our why is to try to promote the health and the well-being of every citizen in the state of West Virginia and give them a bright future. But today we focus on the children of our state. As Amy said, we stand in the shadow of giants. Giants that some are here in person and some are here in their spirit. Giants like Herb Warden, like Gus Gustafson. And I'm going to talk more about Dr. Gus here in a minute. Dr. Bill Neal. Dr. Martha Mullet. And many, many more. Their why was to heal the children of our state. And if we take just a minute, how many of you here are parents or grandparents or uncles or aunts? Come on, raise your hand. So what would you give for a moment with your child, with your grandchild, with your nephew, with your niece, if they weren't here? An hour, a day, a month, a lifetime. That is really what we're doing today, is we are opening the doors of a place that can give health and healing to those children, give a full life to those children. And as we look at the root word of the word health, it is the same root as the word heal and holy and holistic, and it means whole, together, complete, a team, a community, a family. I'd like to recognize a few leaders of our family, Dr. Chuck Mullet, who is the chair of pediatrics. Chuck, stand up, be recognized. Dr. Chris Mascio, who's the head of our pediatric heart program. Chris. And our newest recruit leader, Dr. David Adelson, who is going to be the director of our pediatric neurological program. David. And I'd like for every member of our WVU Medicine Children's team to either stand up or raise your hand, and please let us recognize your tremendous work every day to help improve the lives of our children. Come on, guys, get up. Last night, we had the honor of celebrating the career of Dr. Gus Gustafson. Is Gus here? Stand up, Gus. Let me tell you about this remarkable West Virginian. Gus graduated from our medical school in 1976 and went to Boston Children's Hospital and trained as a pediatric surgeon, heart surgeon. And at that point, there was only about 50 or 60 of these people in the country. And Gus was really outstanding, and so he got the opportunity and the offer to stay in Boston or to go to any other place in the country, any other children's program he wanted to go. But what did he do? He did what all West Virginians do. They did what? Came home. Gus came home, and through the partnership with Dr. David Rosen, who is his partner in crime, pediatric cardiac anesthesiologist, and both Gus and David took call every day, every night, every weekend, 24/7, 365 for 30 years to care for the children of this state. And with their team, with Dr. Bill Neal and Larry Rhodes and Martha Mullett and others, Gus operated on 15,000 children of our state and gave them life, gave them a future, and for many people, gave them the opportunity to have their own family. So Gus, thank you. And Gus said his favorite times of the year were March, April, and December, because in March and April, he got the graduation announcements of the children that he had been part of their care who graduated from high school and graduated from college. And in December, he got holiday cards where he saw these children with their families, and for the children that were done early in the program, he saw them as parents of their own children. What a statement of commitment and of servant leadership. So today, we open the doors of this children's hospital so that our family, our physicians, our nurses, our staff, our students, our trainees can support the children of your families so that they have the brightest future and the longest lives. Thank you very much.
Sorry about that. Hospital's still open. Senator Joe Manchin serves as the senior senator from West Virginia and is the chair of the Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources. He is also a member of the Appropriations Committee and the Committees on Armed Services and Veterans Affairs. His service to West Virginia is nothing short of remarkable, as are his advocacy and passion for his fellow West Virginians. As all our elected officials who are here today, Senator Manchin has been a champion of this project and led efforts to secure federal funds for it through congressional appropriation. I'm grateful to his outstanding efforts in support of this project. Please welcome U.S. Senator Joe Manchin.
Thank you, Albert. I wasn't going to compete with a helicopter. First of all, to Bailey and all of our young miracle children, thank you all for what you have done and how you've recognized and been able to cut the ribbon, get us started, and now you see the results. And we're so proud of each and every one of you. To all the people who spoke before, all my friends, to everybody here on the podium that means so much to this project, thank you for what they do. There's a couple of people I want to recognize because I got phone calls quite a bit, and I know that the governor gets quite a few phone calls. I've been in that seat before. I know how that works. And we're always asking, how can we be of help and how can we participate? The only thing, I've never had phone calls from people that were so enthusiastic. People are always calling, we got a project, we need help, boom, boom, boom. But let me tell you, when Jeff Hostetler and Steve Annaline call you and that enthusiasm, it just came through. This is something special. This is something truly special. And I just, I can't thank them enough. I really, Jeff, for what you've done, thank you. Steve, what can I say? Had to be daily there for a while. Steve always called and he said, Joe, we're almost there. Almost. Another million or two will make it. I said, we're getting close. And let me say this, on behalf of myself, on behalf of Shelley, who had other commitments today, on behalf of my good friend David McKinley over there, together, working together. I know you think about that things are being so discoursed and the toxic politics and everyone's divided. Trust me, we're not today. We were able to secure $11.2 million through appropriations, earmarks for the most worthiest cause of this hospital. Thank all of you. Your tax dollars are at work right here, and we're proud to be part of that. Thank you. I think about Dr. Bill Nils. A lot's been said about Bill. And Dr. Gus back there. I remember they had me up here many, many years ago. They showed me what they could do with a tiny little baby, with a tiny little heart, and be able to keep that baby alive. And enthusiasm, Joe, we can do this. We can do this. Look at this. And Bill just exuberated. And you're pulled in. You're pulled in. And I knew I wanted to be a part of something special here, and I never thought it would grow to what we see today. You know, Gail and I are both proud alumni of WVU. I mean, really proud. And I knew this place was special, and I'll tell you why. Our first child was born in 1969. I don't know if you knew this or not, but WVU Med School and WVU Hospital will let you make payments on your children. They let you take the child home, and you can make payments until you paid them off. Honest to God truth. We didn't have enough money to pay all at one time, but we made payments. Heather took about 6 months to pay her off. I told her she still owes me. But it was, they said, sure, whatever. It just was unbelievable. It was really special. I want to say this, that Gail and I have always believed that there's 5 promises every one of us should make to a child, really. And every child, the first promise every child should have, a loving, caring adult in their life. Sometimes that's not always the way it goes, but they should have that loving, caring adult in their life. And I want you to think about the Children's Hospital when I say these 5, because it all kind of pulls together. The second promise is every child should have a safe place. It's not always the home. Third promise, every child must have a healthy start in their life to be able to get on a good path. Doesn't always happen where you think it should happen. Fourth promise is every child should be taught a livable skill, so they can take care of themselves. And the fifth promise to all of you, every child should love to be, should grow to be a loving, caring adult and give something back. Now, what you all see here today, everybody in this audience, of what they have dedicated themselves to have a place to make sure that you can grow to be a loving, caring adult, that's what it's all about. That's what Children's Hospital is all about. And that's because of you all. So thank you. God bless each and every one of you. And let me just say this. It is a great day to be a Mountaineer.
Thank you, Senator. As I look around, I want to recognize one more of our surgical leaders or children's leaders. Dr. Federico Cifarth, please stand up. He is our Chief of General Surgery for the hospital team. Did a great job. Representative David McKinley is one of two professional engineers in Congress. Representative McKinley has represented West Virginia's 1st District since 2011. He serves on the Committee on Energy and Commerce, where he's been active on issues related to coal, environmental regulation, energy, and healthcare. He also serves as the ranking member of the Subcommittee on Environment. Representative McKinley is the founder of McKinley & Associates, a West Virginia-based architectural and engineering firm that has ran for more than 44 years. Thank you for support of this project, Congressman. As an engineer, you know how challenging it is to pull off a project of this scale. Please welcome Congressman McKinley to the podium.
Well, they say one of the Beatitudes is, blessed be the brief. Let me try so that we get invited back. Now, the other is, I've sat through all this, and I haven't heard anyone talk about that game Thursday night. Let's go, Mountaineers. And I said to Coach Nealon over there, how many times we came to here at that stadium just 100 or so yards away from him to watch him take Virginia Tech down, to Penn State down, watch what Jeff doing. I just love this. I'm still sitting, Mary and I still are sitting in the same seats at Mountaineer Stadium. We've been sitting since the stadium opened, 40-some years. And Gordon, you've never recognized me for that. You've never. And I got to chew on Gordon and his guard a little bit more because I thought if I grew a beard, I might be able to be the Mountaineer. But he said, no, you're too old and fat, you know. So let me just say, let me comment a couple of things about, there's an old adage that I talk to my staff often about in Washington, and also in Wheeling when I ran my company, that sometimes you plant a tree underneath you will never stand. It takes time for those things to come to fruition. But in those early years, I can remember Gordon coming in my office back when I was in the state legislature back in the 80s. And he came in and he said, I've got a vision. He and Jay Rockefeller were putting together a program to build this complex of medical services here in Morgantown back in the 80s. And he wanted a state-of-the-art facility. He said, we're going to take none of Jay and Gordon both said, we're not going to cut any corners. We're going to build something that it continues to grow so that now eventually you're seeing now we're getting the Children's Hospital involved with. He said, I wanted something that would attract nationally recognized doctors, nurses, technicians, and researchers. And in my opinion, I really believe that we've exceeded much of those realities. Things are happening here on campus that are just phenomenal, if not the least of which, one of my pet dreams was to continue the research. We now have, through the WVU healthcare systems, we're 6 times the amount of healthcare research that was occurring just a few years ago. This is due to Albert and all the focus, everyone trying to do what's right to make this a mecca, a gem for our facility. So patients are coming from all around the country. They're coming from overseas. We're seeing the research, as I said, 6 times the Cancer Center, the neuroscience division, all the things that are working. This is what makes us proud to be Mountaineers wherever we are. This is what we have here as a chance to grow and keep our children here. So it is a top rank. I think the care and services that are being provided are phenomenal. I've had a chance to go through the facility numbers of times, both during construction, because that's a pet interest of mine, but also to see how this thing, the beds, 150. I was on a hospital board in Wheeling. We only had 10 beds. This is going to have 150 beds. That ought to, you've got to put that in context. We're going to take care of our children here. This is a massive facility that is going to be very attractive with us. So I'm really proud of what we're going on here. But none of this would have happened without the leadership of Albert Wright, Clay Marsh, Cindy Roth, and others. I thank Joe. Joe and I work together constantly over in the legislature, in Congress. Jim and I talk frequently about how we can work together, because I think that's one of the things that's been missing is often some people in politics, they don't understand how to talk to each other, how to work together, to bond so that we can figure out what's best for West Virginia, because that's always got to be our first end goal, to always achieve what's best for West Virginia. Doc, I see you back there. So, Gordon, my hat's off to you. Because now, 40 years later, nearly 40 years later, after that conversation we had down in Charleston in the legislature, you now have been able to stand under the tree in which you planted. Few people have those opportunities. Think about that. To plant a tree under which you'll never stand, he gets to stand underneath that tree. He accomplished that, and so I'm so proud. You made a difference for West Virginia, so God bless you. And thank you. God bless West Virginia. God bless our Mountaineers. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. You've been a great supporter for the healthcare system and healthcare systems across the country, and much appreciated. We are very blessed to have Governor Jim Justice here to celebrate with us today. Governor Justice is passionate about making sure West Virginia kids thrive. He understands that investments in our children today will result in big dividends in the future. And you know, Governor Justice always talks about West Virginia being one of the best kept secrets, but with projects like this and many of the great economic developments that are occurring under his leadership, I think we all hope that West Virginia will be the best kept secret here pretty soon. So thank you for being here today, Governor Justice.
Thank you. Come here. Just Gordon and Clay. This man needs some time off. Now that you got to help this man. Albert. Let me just say this. A lot of great speakers and a lot of absolute great stuff. I'm going to be real short and real sweet, okay? It's an honor beyond belief for me to be here. But really, when it really boils right down to it, a lot of folks, whether it be Steve or Jeff or whomever it may be, and I'm not going to go through all the line up here. You've always seen and talked and heard from them, and they're great beyond belief. And they've done lots of really good stuff. These kids right here are what everything is all about. But really, at the end of the day, you can see it right here. You can see it in your faces. You can see it absolutely all across exactly right here. You've done it. You've done it. You've all joined in and pulled the rope together, and you've done it. It's happened so many places all across this state, it's unbelievable, but this is monumental off the chart. Absolutely, without any question. I could never be more honored than to be here and maybe just be that grain of sand behind you that's trying to help in every way I possibly can. But I mean this when I tell you that I love you, and I mean this when I tell you I'm really proud of you. I don't have to have any notes. I know by looking at you. I know how great you really are. You've done something that is so special, and it will go on for decades and centuries to come. What's a life worth? Honest to goodness, Dr. Marsh touched on this, but what's a life worth? Nobody could ever explain that. Nobody can come up with any answer to that. You've done something together. Honest to goodness, you should be very proud. And God bless each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for letting me fly with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor Justice. All right, the moment we've been waiting for. So these champion children, a few years back, were here to break ground, back when we broke ground a few years ago. And they've returned today. They are going to walk up the red carpet, and then they're going to wait before we cut the ribbon. we learned that sometimes they get a little excited. So we're going to wait to cut the ribbon, and then I'm going to ask everyone who can to walk up and watch them cut the ribbon after they get up there. Anybody that needs help, we've got carts that can take you from a mobility standpoint. So kids, are you ready? Okay, let's walk right up this way.
Welcome to the new WVU Medicine Children's Hospital, where we provide the most comprehensive and highly specialized care to the children and expectant mothers of our region. At WVU Medicine Children's, we know a trip to the hospital can be stressful for kids and their parents. So we built our hospital to be different, using evidence-based design principles to create the ultimate healing environment. All over the hospital, you'll find open spaces, natural light, and little pieces of West Virginia everywhere you turn. Each floor of the hospital features a signature color and a signature animal to help guide you where you need to go. Patients, parents, and visitors will be greeted by our WVU Medicine Children's ambassadors. Whether you've come for a routine exam or a longer stay, our ambassadors are here to assist you. Kids who need to be admitted will stay in one of our private individual rooms, each with a window view and customizable lighting that puts kids in control. When patients sleep better, they recover better. So we've designed all our patient rooms with a pass-through window to minimize disruptions at night. Our mission to create a healing environment extends to expectant moms and their newborns too. In our new birthing center, moms can deliver their babies in a peaceful, spa-like atmosphere. The labor and delivery rooms in the birthing center and the patient rooms in our neonatal intensive care unit are all individual, private, and allow parents to stay with their newborns. We've made every step of the birth process less stressful and more comfortable. We're also proud to now offer a 24/7 pediatric emergency department. Unlike a regular ED, a pediatric ED is staffed exclusively by doctors and nurses who specialize in caring for children. Here, we're equipped to provide state-of-the-art emergency medicine to any child who comes through our doors. WVU Medicine Children's Hospital is a fully functional, free-leaning hospital. That means we have our own pediatric operating rooms, pediatric imaging, on-site pharmacy, and cafeteria. But we're also connected to J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital, the #1 ranked hospital in West Virginia. So you're just one hallway away from all the resources and expertise of our state's leading academic medical center. Hospitalization is stressful for kids, but it's also hard on parents and siblings. We designed the new WVU Medicine Children's Hospital to be a healing environment for the whole family. Up here on the I Am a Mountaineer floor, the Family Resource Center is a space for playing, learning, and coming together. It's here to make our patients and their families as comfortable as possible during a hospital stay. This is more than a hospital. It's a beacon of hope for women and children in West Virginia and beyond.
We believe that by building a better hospital, we're building healthier futures for our children and families. We're proud to be here, and we're proud to continue our legacy of providing the best possible care to any child who needs us.